Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively and make reasoned judgments. It involves actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, and evaluating information to guide beliefs or actions. Critical thinking is important because it allows us to engage with the world around us. And without it, we kind of just become empty husks of like zombies that just mindlessly consume information without being able to actually utilize it to do anything. Critical thinking, especially when you combine it with creativity, being humble, being forward thinking, is kind of what allows us to develop not just ourselves, but the world around us. Without it, it might leave you being resistant to new ideas or avoiding complex issues, overgeneralizing, being unable to anticipate the consequences of your actions. It'll make it harder for you to communicate with other people. You're going to struggle to have consistent reasoning, and you might over-rely on other people to get you through decision-making. Obviously, these are all things that, especially as you get older as an adult, you are going to be increasingly have to be able to do on your own. And doubly so if, say, you become a parent or something. So I think with all of that, I think we can all, obviously, social media. Now, social media, honestly, is probably like number one in the list of reasons why this has become an issue. And honestly, I think the biggest thing when it comes to social media is the fact that they have algorithms in place that are specifically designed to do two things: to keep you watching, to make you emotional, and to make you emotional. So when you're emotional, what does that do? It stops you from being able to look at a situation critically and without bias. You're too busy being angry at whatever random thing that you're reading, or you could be too busy being happy about whatever news you're watching. You don't actually think about the underlying messages that you're being sent, the kind of the reason why the person that uploaded it did so, what they're trying to gain out of that message. You don't think about how this connects to you or your environment or kind of just the wider world in general. So, and then that's one of the main reasons why social media has such a death in that respect. And then another thing too to keep in mind is that when it comes to social media, the algorithm also kind of keeps you to the same information bubble that you're used to, right? Whether it's like politics or sports, music, entertainment, whatever it is, right? Like, because these algorithms are so tied to you and your person, it kind of becomes hard to kind of branch out into and gain different perspectives, whether it's politically or just gaining new music or just finding new hobbies, because it's going to be very easy for you to just stick to whatever bubble you're comfortable in, especially with the way the algorithm is designed, to show you more of what you already have. And then the last thing too is simply just a lot of information, right? Because here's the thing with critical thinking, right? If you're going to get good at it, you have to stop actually think about what it is that you're consuming information-wise, right? And when you just keep scrolling, you don't really have time to sit with any new piece of media that you've gotten. And trust me, this is something that even I struggle with too, in terms of being able to sit on a video and really ponder what the video is trying to get you to understand. And at least with something like a video like this, my message is pretty straightforward. Now, when it becomes one of those things where there's a whole bunch of underlying messages that you have to get underneath the surface, then it just kind of becomes cooked, because it's like, if I didn't care about the simplified message you're giving me, I'm not going to think deeper and try to sift some more like subtle message that I didn't care about in the first place. Next up, we have AI. And no, I don't mean Allen Iverson. Anyway, when it comes to AI and its role in this mess, I mean, honestly, like, I really don't have to go too much into it, right? Obviously, AI has only been around, in the mainstream for about 2.5 years. And in that time span, you can see the dumbing down of, people in higher education, as well as just like normal grade school students. Like, and when it comes to AI, the obvious answer as to why this is a problem is that you can pretty much just have it do the work for you. And, when it comes to your mind is like any other muscle. You need to actually work it out. You need to put it into practice. You need to actually do things. And when you have AI there, it pretty much does the work. Since it does the work for you, you pretty much don't actually have to be actively participating in any of the work itself. So this kind of just hinders your development, especially if you're a kid, where you actually haven't even had any exposure to having to do these things yourself yet. And, when you look at what's been going on, important, because it's how we engage in the world around us. It's how we further develop ourselves. It's how we come up with new ideas. It's how we learn how to communicate with others. It's pretty much involved in every facet of life that we exhibit. And when we don't develop that, or it starts to wane, that's going to obviously negatively affect our quality of life. We're not going to be able to solve problems for ourselves easily, which is going to lead us to be more frustrated, which is going to worsen that. So it'll just be like a negative feedback loop. Will also hinder our ability to communicate with others, hinder our ability to regulate our emotions, and honestly just make life less fun. Like, who wants to go around not being able to really engage in anything because they don't even know what's going on? So I think it's a point for us to take a step back, check our biases, check for our weaknesses, and just work to make them better. But that's going to be it from my video today. If you liked it, please give it a upvote. I don't know if I said that right. And subscribe to the channel. And most importantly of all, remember to have a good